Hello fellow enthusiasts, my name is Christina. Welcome to another Let's Get Reelz movie review. Today's movie I will be reviewing for you is called Buddymoon. It's an independent movie starring a YouTube star named Flula Borg, if you're not familiar with him, and his friend David Guitorini. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. I probably just totally butchered that. Flula and David actually just go by Flula and David in this movie. They are best friends. David gets dumped by his fiance before their wedding. So Flula comes over and he's like, you know what? Let's go take this honeymoon together. It's actually a trip on a trail through the woods. I don't even know if it's a mountain, but they go on a trip through the woods and they camp out a few nights here and there, and this trail leads up to this, I guess, like little hotel, and they would stay there. Flula is like totally gung-ho. He's really excited about it, and David's like, I don't know, and he's like very unsure if he wants to do it or not because it was supposed to be for his honeymoon. But Flula is just so enthusiastic, he talks David into it. And even as soon as they get on the trail, Flula is very, very excited for this trip. He actually brings his microphone and his headphones because he's gonna like record nature sounds and eventually create like the ultimate song or something like that. And he's just funny. Sometimes he just walks around and he'll like throw rocks in the ground and then record that. The trip goes well for a while. They run into some interesting characters on this trail, like one guy who grew shrooms and he gives them to David and Flula, and he's like, beware the werewolves, or some kind of wolves are around everywhere. And they meet like a group of campers, and there's this one like really pretty girl in it, and Flula's like trying to talk up David and have David hook up with this girl, but Flula kind of blows it because David is an actor and he is like most well known for this kid show that he was in, but it's like really embarrassing because that's like all people remember him by, even like this group of campers. And you know, that's like their little struggle. Like David gets mad at Flula and then they kind of argue, or actually David just kind of yells and Flula's like, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. And then they make it to the end of the trail. Flula's like all excited to be eating, but then he spots David's former fiance, and David and the fiance wind up making amends and getting back together, and Flula's like, oh man. And then he goes to walk down the trail himself, and David's like, I'm not leaving you, dude. There's a lot more to Buddymoon, but that's like basically the gist of the story. And what's really cool about Buddymoon is that it's not like your typical camp story. I'm not really big into camping movies or like outdoor movies unless it's like Wet Hot American Summer or Camp Dakota, but I love Flula, so I had to see Buddymoon. And what sets it apart from other movies is that David is trying to go for the part of like in a Lewis and Clark movie, so he parallels his and Flula's journey through the woods and bonding and being around nature with the diary of Lewis and Clark and what they experienced on their trip out to the Pacific. It was just so much fun. It was actually really smart and really interesting to see like the juxtaposition of like these early Americans. I don't remember when Lewis and Clark traveled, but like to see them traveling through like the unknown part of America, and then just like Flula and David on this trail. Some of the stories like juxtaposing with Flula like going around with his headphones on and recording nature. It was really funny, and that made the story a little bit more interesting. I mean, not that it wasn't to begin with, but it made it a little bit more interesting and a little bit more fun to watch, and because it made Flula's antics a little bit crazier and it made the story a little bit funnier too. The whole of Buddymoon is just really, really good. If you're a fan of Flula like I am, I love Flula from his YouTube channel. He's been in Pitch Perfect 2, and he's just such a funny guy, and it was nice to see him a little bit toned down from like his YouTube persona and then into this movie. I loved Flula, every minute of him. He was just so adorable. He just kind of looked like a big kid running around the woods having a good time and being silly. So if you really like Flula and you haven't seen Buddymoon yet, you will love this. Even if you don't like Flula but you just like different kinds of movies, you just want something funny, you don't want something that's like you know, outrageously silly, but just like silly enough and fun enough. Buddymoon is absolutely perfect, and I really, really hope you guys go out and buy it. It's on iTunes, and you can get it through their website as well. I'm sure it's in other places. But that was my review of Buddymoon. I hope you liked this review, and if you did in any way, please give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below so we can further discuss Buddymoon. Anything about it, we can further discuss Flula. I would love to talk about him. He's one of my favorite people. And if you have any suggestions of what I should watch next, leave those in the comments as well. And if I pick your movie and I watch it and I review it, I will give you a shout out. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for future Let's Get Reelz movie reviews, because that is what I like to do here. And as always, keep watching movies and stay absolutely fabulous.